And he'll be with us here all football season long. And it all starts tomorrow. A couple games are already in the books, Jeff, but Eagles football is back tomorrow. So we'll hit on some of that. How are you, my friend?
Doing pretty good. Traffic coming back home was a legit disaster today. People still don't know how to drive, and I'm glad I work from home most of the time.
Well, I'll tell you what. We are looking forward to traffic right around the Lincoln Financial Field and that whole hubbub back in, out, and all of it starting tomorrow night. So now we know Jalen Hurts, of course, is going to be the starter, at least for tomorrow night. He will go with the ones. But I guess my question for you is, are you looking for anything in particular from Hurts or not necessarily tomorrow night?
You know what I'm looking for, Mike? I expect him to play a little more than a quarter. I will say that. I just want to see the offense be consistent. I don't want to see mistakes from the quarterback. I want to see him progress in his throws. I know he can throw a deep ball. His deep ball's been great throughout camp. But what I want to see is Jalen Hurts just take command of the offense, go down the field, complete the short and intermediate routes, and go from there. Just give Eagles fans conviction that he should be the quarterback, which I know a lot of Eagles fans are convinced already, but it would be nice to see him go out there and have a good drive or two.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think, and I want to get your opinion on this. I mean, I think the offensive line, if healthy, that's a big caveat. It's going to be pretty good. They got good tight ends. That we know. The wide receivers, not so sure. I think they should have a good running game. Does the success of this team come down to Hurts, or is this a team where, hey, just don't lose us the game?
I think if this team had better wide receivers, it would be don't lose us the game. But I think because the receivers aren't as good as we would have thought a month ago, I think it comes down to Jalen Hurts. And especially without Devonta Smith. That's the key here. Devonta Smith solves a lot of problems for this football team. They still have the Jalen Reagor inconsistency issues. I know he's in the slot now, but same story, different tale, I guess. I don't know how they word that, but Travis Fulgham, he's on and off, not good, not bad. It's going to rely on Jalen Hurts, and he's going to the tight ends more now. He's going to Zach Ertz and the 11 on 11. He's going to Dallas Goedert in the 11 on 11.
So has the team shifted the focus of their offense to make it a more tight end centric offense? And if is that the case, can you win with a more tight end centric offense than an explosive downfield pass offense?
Well, there's still going to be downfield passing, but I think you're going to see more 12 personnel than we initially thought because they just don't have the three wide receiver set they actually want. Now, if Jalen Reagor and Travis Fulgham would be a little more consistent, then yes. But they have Zach Ertz on the field, and they can use him in 11 personnel and 12 personnel. That's where I think that's going to help this football team in the long run. So I'm looking at it as, how can I put it in words? They're going to do whatever they can to set Jalen Hurts up the best way to succeed and to win a football game. And to do that, I think you got to use Jalen Hurts' legs, roll him outside the pocket, and find his tight ends. And just move the chains, and you can still have the deep ball. You're still going to have the big play downfield. I actually think that's where Jalen Reagor's strength is going to be this year. I think he will be a really good deep ball receiver. I don't know if he has that Deshaun Jackson separation in him, but I think he's going to be a guy they're going to have to rely on to get the ball through downfield when Devonta Smith's out.
All right, over at CBS Sports, Jeff Kerr has 3 bold predictions for this season. So let's break them down a little bit and kind of get some further discussion on it. You have Devonta Smith becoming the first Eagles rookie with 1,000 yards receiving. So if that happens, that probably means the team's pretty good, right?
I would assume so, and I have them a lot better than most people do. I think 8 and 9 is very possible for this football team. I know that's everybody would think that's negative, but a lot of people are writing them off as like a 4 or 5 win team. I just don't see that. I think they're going to be a lot better than that, and what, they'll probably be better than 8 and 9 if everything goes right. But Devonta Smith has a 1,000-yard year, and again, I think this guy's a game breaker. I think he's a game changer. I think he's the number 1 receiver this team has been searching for really since T.O., and it's going to be right off the bat, Mike. It's going to make an instant impact whenever he comes back from the sprained MCL. And right away, the Eagles are going to go to him. They're going to give him targets, and he's going to be a really, really good asset for this football team. Look, all he needs is 58.8 receiving yards per game for 17 games. If he stays healthy for 17 games, I think he gets 1,000 yards. And you know what? I wouldn't be shocked if he went over 80, 90 catches either.
Yeah, I mean, that'll be interesting. I agree that Smith is the first guy that you really Rieger, you just didn't know. You were hoping. They've had other rookie guys in here before that. They drafted Nelson Aguilar was a first-round pick. I don't think you had high hopes for him. This guy, Smith, you've got high hopes for. So your bold prediction, if that comes true, I'm interested to see what that means in the win-loss column. All right, Jeff Kerr, let's go to number 2. This is an interesting one. If your receiver has 1,000 yards, your offensive line's pretty good, and as your bold prediction states, Jalen Hurts with 30 combined touchdowns. What does that mean for this offense?
I'm glad you saw the segue into my second one there, because that's what I was going for. Well, if the receiver's going to be good, Zach Ertz is going to be here. And look, I said this could blow up in my face if the Eagles trade for you-know-who, but I just don't see that happen. I think Jalen Hurts is going to be the quarterback this year, and I want him to be the quarterback for this year. Look, Jalen Hurts and the Eagles average 2.5 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts averaged 2.5 touchdowns per game in his 4 starts last year, and that is counting the game he was pulled. So keep that in mind. And I didn't even count the Packers game in this. If you do a full season with that, that's over 40 touchdowns. That's not going to happen. 30, though, very realistic. 20 and 25 touchdown passes, 5 to 10 rushing touchdowns. I think the Eagles are going to use him in the red zone a lot. Very possible to get 30. Very, very possible.
Well, 30 means they had a pretty good year. 30 touchdowns is a lot. And I talk about a lot, combined touchdowns. If you have, 22 passing touchdowns and 8 rushing touchdowns, you were probably wrecking havoc on the field. You know what I mean?
It's almost like a poor man's Josh Allen or a poor man's Lamar Jackson in a sense. Look, the Eagles, I don't know if Jalen Hurts will ever get to those levels. I don't really care. But if they can win football games because of his intangibles and because of stuff he could do on the football field, and they have a talented roster around him, I'm all for that. You don't need look, we all would like Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, you name them. But if you can have a good quarterback who's a little bit above a game manager with a talented offensive and defensive line, you can win some games in this league, and he can do that.
Well, as you write over at CBS Sports, Jeff, he had 10 total touchdowns in his last 4 starts. That's 2.5 per game in a 17-game season. That's 42 touchdowns.
42, yep.
For Jalen Hurts. 2.5 a game. That's
If Jalen Hurts gets 42 touchdowns this year, I'll shave my head.
All right. Well,
I shave it
that would
anyway,
look a whole heck of a lot different for the people who cannot see the video out here.
It's completely shaved. No, you know what? I would probably have to do something even more drastic. I probably would have to wear a different team's jersey or something on here. Maybe I'll buy his jersey or something and actually show some bias and wear it on here.
There you go. All right. Jeff Kerr, CBS Sports, covers the NFL. Eagles 97.3, ESPN.com. 3 bold predictions for the Eagles season. You have Philadelphia leading the NFL in sacks. Now, they were 3rd last year. Wide 9 is out, which is a sack-friendly defense, but you think they could even be better.
Because they're going to blitz more. And they're really, really talented with pass rushers getting to the quarterback. Brandon Graham had one of his best years last year. And I don't care wide 9 or not. He still gets to the quarterback a ton. And look, you're going to have to double team Fletcher Cox. That's going to free up Javon Hargrave, which when he figured out this defense, he was pretty good at the end of the year last year. Josh Sweat's going to be an absolute beast if what I've been seeing in camp correlates to the regular season, which I think it will. And Derek Barnett's been no slouch here. You got Ryan Kerrigan in the mix. There's 6 pass rushers right there. Milton Williams has been great in camp. I think he's going to contribute in a reserve role. Hassan Ridgeway has been known to get to the quarterback from time to time as the 3rd defensive tackle. And they're going to rush 5. They're going to blitz more. Look, this doesn't go for, just for the front line here. When Rodney McLeod gets back, I think they're going to use him in a role like that. Devion Taylor's another guy I'm really watching for. Eric Wilson, they could use that in a certain role. Jannard Avery, Joe Ose. I don't think Joe Ose was going to make the team, but no. You get the gist here, Mike. Overall, I think 50 sacks is really reachable. And I know leading the league in sacks, if you get 55 sacks, you don't lead the league, then the bold prediction doesn't mean much, but you still got more than 49. I think, personally, I think 55 is going to be the number if you're going to have to lead the league. So I think they can get 6 more sacks this year. And I do think they're going to be top 5 in pressures, too.
Well, the Kerrigan signing obviously adds, you would hope, some more sacks. How much they play Sweat should be interesting. The Sweat-Barnett dynamic over there. Fletcher Cox, I think his next sack will separate him in a tie on the Eagles' all-time sack list with somebody. I was just looking at this today.
But Brown, is he tied with him?
Would say that again?
Craig Brown, is he tied with him?
I will pull it up for you because I had this up in front of me earlier today, and my computer kind of took a nosedive on me because Fletcher Cox is tied with Hugh Douglas.
Hugh Douglas. Okay,
Yes.
yeah, I knew it was one of the two. I was thinking, like, maybe it's Hugh. I don't know. I know Brandon Graham's up there, too.
Brandon Graham is fourth on the list, but he's going to stay fourth. I would imagine Brandon Graham does not move out of the fourth spot. He might never move out of the fourth spot, frankly.
Hold on. Can I take a guess on who the top three are?
Top three. Go for it.
Reggie White, Clyde Simmons, and Trent Cole.
It is those three, but not in that order.
Okay, yeah.
Reggie White, Trent Cole, Clyde Simmons, Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, and Hugh Douglas are tied with 54.5 each. So Fletcher will move to fifth all-time with his next sack, and then Douglas would be sixth. Greg Brown would be seventh. Andy Harmon is eighth. Okay. Seth Joyner is ninth, and William Fuller is 10th. There you go.
William Fuller was pretty good in his 3 years here.
Yeah, Vinny Curry's on this list, by the way. He is at number 18. Derek Barnett is number 25 on the list. Who knew? And yeah. Josh Sweat is actually number 40 on the Eagles.
He'll go up this year. I'm pretty sure. But by the way, I got to get a Hugh Douglas point in. Hugh Douglas was a really underrated pass rusher when he was here. He was an all-pro.
He was. Oh, absolutely. By the way,
from 98 to 02, he was a beast.
Real quick on Josh Sweat. Let's say he gets 10 sacks this year, okay? That would move him from 40th on the list to 25th on the list, which is exactly where Derek Barnett is right now. So he would make that big.
We're assuming Derek Barnett gets more than 0 sacks this year.
If Derek Barnett gets 0 sacks, yes, he would fall. He has 19.5 for his career.
I'll tell you what, Mike, if he don't get any sacks this year, you got to shake your head. No, we're not going by injury year. That's a cop-out. No, if he plays the whole year, it doesn't get anything.
Yeah, I would do that for you because my hair, I know, will grow back pretty quickly. Yesterday, so the guy's watching the show on the video, and it's me, Pete Thompson, and Josh. Now, Pete challenged. Josh is challenged. I'm not challenged, but I guess if you look at the video screen, it could appear maybe, but, like, I'm not challenged at all. I need my hair cut today. So, and I'm talking to people that are all challenged, so I'm sorry. I don't know what to do with this. I'm like, that the guy was getting on my case about I had no hair. I said, what are you watching, dude? I don't know.
I'd kill to have that hair.
Yeah, man.
I gave up growing hair when I was 21. I said, you know what? I'm balding. I'm shaving it off. I don't care anymore.
You make that move, baby. Stay proud. Stay with it. All right. So tomorrow night, give me a couple things that you're watching in the game because I've been given I'm kind of intrigued by tomorrow night, mainly because of the new coach and because I think this kind of gives us some indication what he might be looking at.
So this is what I'm viewing it as. And I mentioned earlier, I want to see the offense be more consistent. I think defense is going to be fine. Like, I think defense is going to ball out. Ben Roethlisberger's not playing, obviously. It's going to be Mason Rudolph. It's going to be Dwayne Haskins for Pittsburgh. I want to see them, how they do against Najee Harris, because I think the Steelers are going to give him a lot of reps. I think he's going to play a lot more than he did the first game. I want to see how they do against the run, because you don't really get to see that. And Miles Sanders, I want to see him catch the football a bit. I'm really going to focus on the running backs and Jordan Mailata. Jordan Mailata is definitely going to be the first team left tackle now because Andre Dillard's hurt. Yep. So I want to see what he does.
Yeah, Mailata's interesting. I want to see just, if we've heard such good things. Is he this dominating left tackle? And in a way that you can run behind this guy on short yardage situation and he just gets that push, 90% of the time that he wins his, that kind of stuff. Like, is he going to look like this dominating figure out there? Is he going to look like a much more comfortable player than the guy, I don't want to say last year, but he was shaky at times, and he kind of eased into that role as he got more opportunities. That is a good one. I'm interested to watch the linebackers tomorrow. I want to see how Jonathan Gannon uses these linebackers in this defense because Eric Wilson is a guy that we don't know a whole heck of a lot about. Does he see something in him because, Jeff, the linebacker position in this league is what's his name in Indianapolis just got the record deal for linebackers. Look what's going on in Tampa Bay. Linebackers feel like they're kind of coming back, and the Eagles still feel like they don't have that guy.
Eagles don't value linebackers. It's weird. And this is the thing. I think their linebacker position is the deepest it's been in years. Eric Wilson is a solid NFL starter. Alex Singleton proved he can play. Davion Taylor looked like he was going to start before he got hurt. Jannard Avery, they moved the linebacker. He's basically going to play an Anthony Barr type role as an athletic guy. They're going to use him as a thoroughbred type. So again, and they still have T.J. Edwards in that mix. Sean Bradley. Again, I feel like it's the deepest it's been in years, but I don't know if it's going to be good. I think the starters are good, but we'll see. I'm curious to see how John Vigan uses these guys as well.
Yeah, the whole Avery thing is interesting to me because he was listed as number 1 on the depth chart at the Sam linebacker. How much time does the Sam linebacker get?
Yeah, is he Devion Taylor or is he, just that third linebacker in there? I guess we'll find out tomorrow. Maybe the Eagles are just throwing him to the Wolves, and we'll see what happens.
All right, 2 other things for tomorrow night. The running back rotation, I don't know if rotation's the right word, but is there a battle at running back? And the nature of how these running backs, Johnson, Howard, Scott, Gainwell, even Huntley to some extent, they all seemingly are a little different, So who's in a battle with who, or is it just we'll take the best 4? Do they take more than 4? I think that's something tomorrow night that I'm into.
Well, I think they're going to take 4. I think Miles Sanders and Boston Scott are locks. I think Kenny Gainwell's a lock.
You think Boston Scott is a lock?
I think he's a lock,
okay.
Yes.
And then you just said Gainwell. Gainwell, they're not going to cut a rookie, right?
Yeah, they're not going to cut a 5th-round pick. Oh, by the way, he's having a good camp. So they're not cutting it. So it's going to be between Kerryon Johnson and Jordan Howard. And I think they do need a bruiser in there. And it's going to be one of those two. But I think Jordan Howard has had a pretty good camp as well. So if they keep 4, look, if they want to go another receiving type back, you go with Kerryon Johnson. But I think they need a bull in there. And I think Jordan Howard can actually make this team. I really do, even though they took Kerryon Johnson's contract off waivers. Okay, so you get rid of $2.1 million. But again, Kerryon Johnson, a little more talented than Jordan Howard. But we'll see. It's going to be interesting. But, I think 3 of these guys are locks already.
All right, so that's something there. And then the wide receiver room, obviously, with Smith out, how they kind of utilize. Is Watkins going to get some looks doing jet sweeps and some stuff, bubble screens, that kind of stuff? I don't know that you show that stuff in these games. So is Watkins going to go out there and people are going to be disappointed from what they see from him? J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, is he going to change people's opinions of him? Hey, Whiteside has 7 catches for 86 yards. Look at him. So I think the wide receiver stuff is going to be kind of interesting tomorrow too.
I just want to see him catch the football and make plays. Again, it's going to be a vanilla offense. I think they'll show some stuff, but overall, I just want to see Jalen Hurts get the ball to these guys and let these guys make plays. That's really all I'm looking forward to tomorrow night.
All right, Jeff Kerr, CBS Sports. A lot of NFL is happening as now all the preseason games are starting to come our way. Here's a question for you, all right, before we get out of here. We could talk football all day, but
exactly.
All right, how about this? So a couple teams need offensive linemen, right? You got a lot of challenged offensive line teams in this league. Miami leads a lineman, a couple other teams. If they're calling Philadelphia, Dillard, Pryor, the Eagles have some help that they can actually trade an offensive lineman. If they were to trade player for player, which might not happen, but let's just play along. What position would you want to see Roseman get back in return if he were to trade? So if you're going player for player, what position would you want to see?
Easy, wide receiver. You got to get a veteran wide receiver to help this young core out. I just don't think this core is good enough. And that's not me being negative. That's not me being positive. I just see what I see on the football field, and it's just not good enough. And I hope Jalen Reagor and Travis Fulgham prove me wrong because they're the two that have to step up here. Greg Ward's fine. Quez Watkins is fine. Quez Watkins is going to be a surprise this year, but they need someone to help these guys out. Wide receiver would be the position I would swap.
I said veteran wide receiver or another safety to add some depth at that position.
Yeah, that would help too. It's not a pressing need, but it wouldn't hurt.
All right, let's Carson Wentz, interesting news on him today. Both him and Quentin Nelson trending to play week 1. So all of a sudden, that draft pick seems to be back in play.
Yeah, how about that? I was kind of surprised by that. I'm hoping the guy comes back week 1. I still don't think it's going to happen. I think he'll miss a game or two, but I still think that first-round draft pick's in play, and we got to watch out for it. All
right, Jeff Kerr, CBS Sports, tomorrow night tonight. Eagles in action. Pittsburgh Steelers right here on 97.3 ESPN. The action starts at 7:30 with Merrill Reese and Mike Quick. Pre-game coverage at 6:30 from the Eagles Radio Network. All right, Jeff, we will catch up soon, pal.
Yeah, Friday will be interesting when we break down this exhibition game of sorts.
Hey, we'll get to see it all unfold tomorrow. The breakdown on Friday. Jeff will be here. All right, pal, take care.
Yep, sounds good. Thanks, Mike.
Jeff Kerr, you can follow him at Jeff Kerr CBS, CBS Sports, 97.3 ESPN.com. His coverage of the Eagles this season on 97.3 ESPN. It is brought to you by Calvi Electric. Calvi Electric in Atlantic City is now doing residential. Their new residential division here to help with all your home and business electrical needs online at calvielectric.com.